Alright, maybe this will work a little bit better now. Cool. I did the old IT crowd approved. Have you tried turning it off and on again? Where was I? I think I was playing this. Where are we at? Yes.
When was the last time you did something for the first time? When was the first time you said, man, I think I've had enough? I know what you mean, but it seems your invented intention will save us from this place. Let's write an end and surrender to something for the first time.
Definitely feeling a little warm up. And I'm glad the audio's working. Thank you, Vince Lupone. I'm really glad you enjoyed it. My enunciation is not too good this morning, is it? What's everyone up to today? It's Saturday morning here in sunny Perth, Western Australia. Perth with its dry heat. It's definitely feeling dry today. since Eddie passed away. Man, that feels like yesterday. Hang on. Yeah, Art Vandelay, that was for you, man. The attempt at the Jambi pull-off. So, yeah, I can't play Mean Street, but when I was trying to learn it, I feel like I should really give this some less Boogie Mark series and more modded Marshall kind of vibe. Oh, which I can do because I have seamless preset changes on here now. There we go, there's some more. Big thank you to Josh for the super chat. Appreciate all the informative gear reviews and tips, tricks. It is my pleasure, mate. I'm always stoked to know that people actually get something out of them. So, yeah, don't worry. The hair's still there. It's just, it needs to be washed today. So it is absolute grease ball. But, yeah, while it's there, like I was saying on the last episode of the Gear Podcast, while it's there, maximize it. Otherwise, become aerodynamic, you know. That's about all there is to it. John Brown's not in the chat, but he knows what I'm talking about right there. So that Unchained thing, I want to do the flanger on. So actually, I'll tell you what, I put together like an Eddie balance style preset. I'm in drop C, so, you know, it's, I'm already off. I'm already off because I can't play like that. But here it is. So this should be a little more like... It's got the big like SDE thing and needs flange, man. Let's add a flanger, as I used to say as a kid, because, you know, I didn't know any better. Yeah, this is what we want. This is the one we want, this kind of thing. Man, that part of that song, what's happening? Is it in like 5 or 7 or something? That flanger sounds very, very good. I like that on there. This one, the seal is in the house. Yes. What's up, man? How am I doing audio right now? Is the guitar going direct or is it being mic'd? So using the Axe effects for guitars, and it's going direct. Obviously, I've got my headphones on, and you can hear my mic up here. So I've just got an SM7B, but I am using my Apollo interface. So, I mean, the Apollo is kind of like, you know, the Axe effects of studio gear. So you've got channel strip, modeling and compression. And what do I have on there? I'll show you all. I need to bring the console up. What do we have going on? And I can probably capture this. Yes, give me 1 second. What do I want to do? I want to capture a window, and the window that I want to capture is the console. UA mixer engine console. I think this. Can you guys see all of this? Hopefully you can. There we go. Do. Scale it. Thank you, OBS. There we go. So you can see all this kind of happening in pseudo real time. So the guitar is on. Where's the guitar? It's on this channel at the moment. I'm using the XLR outs. It's very, very loud. And my voice is here, but I've got the Neve preamp. I don't know if this is going to actually show up in OBS. No, I need to capture a separate window. But kind of a unison channel strip on there, so boosting up the mic gain, and then I'm sending it to their distressor plugin for, there's just a preset in there which is like voiceover. It sounds pretty good. So, and I'm looking at myself in the stream, and my long neck makes me look like an earthworm, which is why I have long hair. Let's just do, there we go. We got rid of it. Awesome. There we go. So yeah, the UA stuff makes it really, really easy there. They're good. People rate it for a reason. What I'm gonna do, literally, what, maybe 12 hours ago or something like that, the Axe got this seamless switching update. So I'm gonna try something, and then maybe try play through a song. Yeah, no worries, Ben. It's the UA stuff actually makes it a little bit fiddly to stream audio. You have to go into the console and you have to set, like, it basically has all these audio inputs and outputs, but the only thing it can feed to OBS is output 1 and 2, so you have to set that as your monitor source, so you can't have your monitors on at the same time. So yeah, it's not the best. I'm sure RME or someone like that does it way better, but it works nicely, and I love the sound of their Unison plugins and their compressors, and you know, I can do stupid stuff like this. If I wanted to say send my voice to a reverb. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stream. So that's their 224 plugin, and then there's a 480L. Oh my god, this is terrifying. So yeah, you can do all that, or I can send those reverbs to the Axe if I want, or I can send the Axe out to my rack with a switchblade and slap the PCM70 or the 2290 on. So yeah, you can do some super, super rad stuff with that. As an example, you know, here's dry guitar from the Axe effects. I'm going to turn my mic off for a second, and I'll blend in some of their 224 plugin on it. So that's kind of nice. I like that. Someone wanted me to pitch shift my voice. Okay, let's do... What do I own in here? I think the AMS pitch shifter I've got. I mean, you could put auto-tune on it. That's kind of fun. Let's see, what am I doing? It's going to be delay, probably. The AMS... What one do I actually... The only thing is then, you know, it's like a closed ecosystem, so you got to own stuff. Here we go. Let's do this. Maybe this works. This kind of sounds fun. Whoa. This is going to be weird. G'day, legends. This is what it feels like when you take acid and watch Leon's live stream. Let's get rid of that for now. That is too much fun. right, I was going to do this. I'm going to bring up, let's capture the axe edit window for everybody. Maybe I can do it like this. Hey, look at that. Look at that, immediate. So I'm going to show you guys how I'm switching on my main live scene at the moment. It's got an amp, and there's some cool features in it, like a boost and a fat switch. At the moment, I'm assigning control switches to them, and then you can assign the control switches to be on and off per scene. Okay, so that's one way to do it. But there are channels in the amp block, and previously when you change channels, there's always been a slight gap. So what I should be able to do now is do this preset, but instead of having to assign switches, I just set the amp, same amp model or different amp models on different scenes. So how am I going to do this? Let's do this. This preset looks insane, but there is a lot going on. I'll just save it over here, and yeah, that's cool. All right, so I'm going to get rid of these switches. I won't worry about automating this. And I will actually all let you hear the main rhythm scene first, because I think it sounds pretty cool. Let's have a listen to this. Nice and big. This is the way I like it. And what I'm going to do is I'll copy this to all channels. Then on channel B, I'm going to turn the fat switch on. And you know what? I'll turn the boost on as well. Give me more gain. Okay, that's kind of fun. I can actually probably simplify this a lot now with this particular setup. So all I'm going to do is in the scene manager now, the amp I will set to channel A for my main sound there, and I'll put it on channel B for... Actually, I'm going to get rid of all this because while it's cool, it's doing something that's probably very distracting. And let's say on channel C, I want a clean sound. So give me a good clean amp. Let's reset this one. Because this is all so impossibly difficult to do, I'll just do the band commander. That one works nice. Sounds like a clean amp. Turn the bass down, the treble off a bit. Probably sounds better with single coils. Okay, there's my clean amp. Probably just need to bring the level up on this one a little bit. That works, that's nice. I like the way that sounds. Let's do this. Pitch at the end of the chain. Yeah, I got that off a buddy of mine. Shout out to Carl, who's probably not watching this because he's in Canada and probably working as a sound guy at the moment. But he is big on the pitch detune. We're like the pitch detune bros, and he often takes an old Eventide to shows when he's mixing bands and puts pitch detune on everything. And he was saying you should try it after the reverb. It's subtly different. I just kind of like it at the end of the chain for the big stereo spread thing. Art Vandalay, do you need to take a laptop, tablet, iPad to gigs in case of last minute adjustments? You don't. There's something called the perform page. So up here, I can take any parameter from any block and map it up here. So you can see the things that I might tweak at a gig, like how loud my solo boost is, whether the pitch and reverb are on, the gate threshold, the high cut, a bunch of things. So you kind of curate a little grab and go selection, and then you access it from the front panel on the unit. So that's how I do it. I will give you some Pantera in just a second, Charles. Okay, so we got these three different sounds out in the amp block. On scene 8, I'm going to make it switch to that clean sound. That's what I want, so this should be really shimmery. Because this is seamless, I'm going to drop the chorus block. I'm going to use the multi-tap delay as a quad chorus, which I've probably got something like this. Okay, there's my chorus coming out of that. I've already dropped a bunch of blocks now, which is kind of cool. So I can go between these two sounds. Where are my scenes at? Okay, my clean sound's too loud. That's okay. Let's just take that down. Awesome. Thank you, Ben. Hope you have a great day or evening wherever you are, mate. Sweet. Okay, happy with that. And then going from, let's take a look at what the amp block does. I should be... I guess what's cool now is, because I'm not tied to one channel, I could tweak this lead sound a bit. And I cannot remember that riff there, but that... And hello, Josh. I'm glad you're the first. This is your first live stream on here. So, yeah, that's the worst Pantera you're gonna hear today. But I tried, and sometimes that's all that matters, right? That. Okay, so I've dropped a couple. I've dropped a block already, so that's awesome. One of my favorite things on this is this lo-fi scene with this kind of moving filter. So, you know, use it in Rust. So we're going. I'll tell you what, I'll turn my mic off so you don't have to hear the sound of the guitar getting spanked. So that's pretty fun. I like that quite a lot. Yes. Yeah, any other questions with this? I might refine this a little bit more. I mean, do I need a delay block to do... I quite like the way that delay sounds. There's nothing wrong there. One of the coolest sounds on here actually is this Plex delay doing a big reverb thing and a trem. So the reverb on its own. Let's try it. Oh my god, that sounds good. Very, very cool. Yeah, so using... What else am I doing here? Using the ring modulator with pitch tracking on to go down an octave is a lot of fun too. So you get this kind of like... It's not a super tight octave, which I kind of like. I like it sounding funky. Can you make use of a reverse delay? Yes, a couple of fun things you can do with a reverse delay. I'm just going to use a separate delay block in here for now. So I'll put it on a reverse. Where is it? R for reverse. There we go. I'll turn it up. All right, so let's turn the feedback up and let's go for so one thing is, doing quite a long delay, like a sound on sound thing. This is kind of fun with quite a lot of feedback. You get this. Let's try. I'll just get a slightly. Where's my clean sound actually? Let's do that. Channel C, and I'll turn the gate off. So check this out. This is pretty fun for like sound on sound. That's one way to use it, which is really, really nice. The other thing you can do is this. Actually use a really, really short time. Doesn't that sound funky? You almost get a ring modulator sound out of it. So they're like the two things to do with a reverse delay, or set it to a longish. We'll do a second of delay and just turn the mix all the way up, and you can play guitar backwards. Use zero feedback, use a lead sound, and maybe add another delay later in the chain. You get this. I'm gonna mute my guitar, mute my voice. Let's do that. Right, that's pretty fun. Reverse reverb you can also do. The way to do it is there's a block called the mega tap delay. And reverse reverb echo. So, or, you could do one of two things, right? You could put a reverb block into a reverse delay, but I feel like this is a slightly easier way to get that effect. Pretty sweet. So yeah, the reverse reverb thing. Someone asked about the Yamaha symphonic effect. Yes, you can do that. The way you do it is with... So this symphonic is... there's a lot of stuff written up about it, that it's a flanger, that it's a particular type of chorus. It's a chorus. It's a 3-voice chorus. And how do I know this? One of my buddies measured my SPX 90 for me and was sort of like, hey, it's a tri-chorus. You have... one of the chorus voices is on this really slow LFO sweep though, and the delay times are quite short, so that's kind of why it sounds flanger-esque. Nevertheless, I'll turn all this stuff off up here. So the way you do it is with 2 multi-tap delay blocks, and I've shared these, they're on the forum, so I'll just do this. Let's go multi-tap, where is it, symphonic 2 of 2 and symphonic 1 of 2, something like that. So yeah, there we go. And I think, let me do this, let's faff around with this for a second. So it's using, look, basically you have what, a 10 millisecond delay across these voices, so there's 2 voices there, and then there's some other voices on here, and you use the time modulation in there. See the rates, about 0.6 hertz. Here's that other LFO. Okay, so this is what it sounds like. A little bit loud at the moment. Let's fix that. And what I'll actually do is I'll just bring the overall mix down a little bit. I like it slightly lower. Something like that. And much like you heard the, that was the worst Pantera you heard all day earlier, that's the worst version of No More Tears that you're going to hear. Yeah, it sounds, it's got it. Hey, it's, I have shared my blocks library before, so if you go on the forum and look that up, or look up on my channel just my blocks library, you can grab those. So yeah, I didn't dial those in. That was a buddy of mine actually in Sweden, the magic of the internet. Shout out to Nicholas, because he does amazing stuff. And yeah, we measured that one and managed to get the symphonic. We got the pitch change C thing happening as well. So yeah, I'm stoked to not have to turn on my old crusty, noisy SPX90. It's like you have every classic rock band in your hands. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Someone asked, where is it? Thank you to Peter Urban for the super chat. In Canada, more Edge of Breakup along the lines of Mark Knopfler Les Paul sounds on the Axe-Fx would be great. Oh man. All right. Let's do this. Do you currently use your Fishman Fluence pickups in your guitars, and what do you think of them? I really like them, but I pulled them out of my McCarty. I put something else in there. And they're going to end up in something else. I just don't know what yet. So, the Modeler Wars are in the house. It's almost as good as a TMP, but is it really? So the Knopfler thing, I mean, look, like a lot of people, my favorite Mark thing is the Brothers in Arms thing that he does. So, and it's smooth and it's got that thing going on. So I'll go single coil. What is this, a plexi? What did Mark use? Fenders or something like that? I have no idea, but I'm going to put an EVIR in here and it will smooth everything out a lot. And I wouldn't mind a big old reverb. Let's try... These are all my blocks as well, so these aren't types. These are things that I've dialed in to get close to what I like. Hey, there we go. Don't need this stupid thing. Josh Simonson, I have the classics. They only have the 2 voices on them. I would have liked the newer ones with the kind of multi-voice thing. So, yeah, I think they're pretty good. They kind of sound like a JB and a Jazz. They're just less noisy. All right, not Florino. I, again, have no idea what he was using. Maybe some old Fender or something, but let's just use a 50-watt Plexi, but we'll turn the normal gain up because that sounds fat. Then, I think what I'll do is, I'll use the middle selection here. I'm going to turn my volume controls down to about 7. And for playing clean stuff, like, disable the gates and have a slightly better time, so... Wouldn't mind a little bit of ambiance from a delay or something, so... let's go stereo BBD. Let's go 75% time ratio. Hey... So that's I'm digging this. This is nice. And then could go neck humbucker, tone down, volume up. Something like that anyway, so there's some kind of descending into Beckisms. So yeah, that's what I would do for a like edge of breakup thing. Like I just really like EVs for the cleaner edge of breakup style thing, and use your guitar volume and tone controls. So, you know, those guys were kind of onto something with the way they ran those rigs. My favorite distortion pedal of all time. Let me marinate on that question for a few minutes. And there was a question in here. Jason, head first amplification. Love your vid on the JMP. You made it very easy for me, Jace. That thing, like that amp sounded pretty good already, but far out, man. Like that is just an animal now. Yeah, and I loved chopstick cam on there. If anyone's watching this and they're not following headfirst amplification and they like amps and they like classic tones and great Marshall sounds and insights and no bullshit, go and subscribe to Jason's channel. It's incredible, and go check out the video that I did on Troy's JMP because it's pretty smoking. I thought Troy did a pretty good job of the demo. I think he could definitely do more of that stuff. So yeah, who asked that question? I need to give him a shout. Peter Urban, thank you, Peter. There's some of that stuff. I mean, that's with a Plexi. If you wanted, I don't know, let's do something totally different. Let's do what's a Fender that I like when you break it up? Maybe like a Super Reverb or something. I mean, look at all this stuff. Vibrato, that's the Stevie thing, right? Turn that up. Chopstick cam, yeah. Use that one going forward. That sounds pretty good. That's pretty good. I might put a tube screamer or something like that in front of it. Let's very quickly segue to Stratocaster land while I'm doing this, because I'm actually quite enjoying not playing with the gain on 6 billion. I'm sure this will last all of 3 minutes. Okay, good old Strat. What's a great third all-tube rack preamp that you would suggest alongside the Rockmaster and a Boogie Recto preamp? Ooh, that's a good question. So the Recto preamp is one I've actually never had a chance to play. What are we in? E standard. I mean, it's not E flat, but it'll do. Look, I think my canonical answer for what's a good preamp that I should get, if you want to get something that's probably going to be less of a pain to deal with, get a Synergy. Like get a Syn 2 and get 2 modules. You know, get the 800 module and a 2CP, or the Uberschall module is really good. Obviously, you don't have an 88 MP1 in your rig, so that's the other canonical answer to that. But yeah, the Rockmaster is really good, man. Like, what a great underrated preamp. All right, there we go. All right, who can name this tune? SRV. How is that? Man, what am I trying to... I mean, the giveaway is this, right? I love that you can just play an entire solo with. And the other lick is the... This is very much like I've listened to Stevie Ray Vaughan once and I'm doing the thing that everybody does. There's that Jared James Nichols thing that he does, the kind of, I'd call it the doo-wop descent, where you play, instead of playing, you know, you do a bend, and then you come back down, but he's gone. And of course he's also a... Oh man, yeah, the Albert King is strong. Someone pointed out to me a long time ago that, you know, Albert King was playing a right-handed guitar upside down. So when he's doing the, you know, he's pulling down on the string. Well, so that's kind of probably one reason he could get so extreme with it. Clon into vibroverb is pretty sick as well. A lot fatter. And, you know, we can also do this old chestnut on there. Where is it? Where's the rotary? This works really, really well. On the amp just a little bit. Someone say Philip Sace? Oh yeah. Man, Philip Sace. I saw him at the Dallas Guitar Show in 2019, and that was one of those like, who is this guy? And when I've got some of his albums, and I just never seen him live, I didn't even really know what he looked like. It was just someone I'd listened to, and yeah, he was killing it, man. It was, you know, you see someone, you're like, whoa, this guy's obviously a superstar. What's going on here? So, yeah, so good, so good. Anyway, this is Stratland, isn't it? So, what else can I show you people? Oh yeah, okay. So while we're in Stratland, this. Why don't I have any delay in this? A bit of tape style echo would be pretty sweet on this. Let's go. What I got? That's pretty cool. I dig that. I dig that a lot. Hang on. Let's see. I know there's the one Zappa song that everyone knows how to play. Yeah, shocking. I'll properly embarrass myself if I try to play anything else from his back catalogue. Let's see. What's going on here? Yeah, the vibe thing I was playing around with recently as well. That Strymon Ultraviolet is very, very good. So I was going between that and the classic vibe in the Axe. Again, nerdy stuff. If you go to the phaser and more, there's actually, you can have photo cells in here, which is kind of cool. And you can play with the attack and the release. And what I found really interesting was you can play with the bias as well. So this is cool. Turn the bias down, it gets more like square wavy. That's like wah, 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 rather than wah, 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 wah. Oh, this is much more just classic chorus style. If you bring it down a bit, yeah, it gets lumpier. Oh, I mean, yeah, 100% this is... Yes, I'm the slime, that's right. Justin, thanks for tuning in, mate. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening or day. What's the other? Any Colour You Like, I think is the other real uni-vibe-ish song, probably a higher rate. I can play in the light. Can I play in the light? You know, I've never tried to learn in the evening. It's good. I love that later era Zepp stuff. I'm gonna cheat. Let's just tab it up while we're doing Plexi and Strat stuff. So anyway, Univibe. Hopefully, anyone vaguely interested in this stuff is picking up some cool stuff. I feel like you kind of need that for... Apparently he was using a... what's that thing called? The Gizmotron, if anyone's aware of that. In the Light is the counter to that song though, isn't it? That's got a great mean fuzz riff. Like, let's put some octave fuzz on this. lot of fun. So that whole, how does the riff go? That's right. Something like that. That's right. There's some weird notes in there. That's the one. We got there in the end. Yes, I don't use the drive pedals a lot for the things I normally do. I'm kind of focused on the amp block distortion in there. Let's see, where's it good? I got a video coming out today with that, trying to match that head first for the crunch thing, and it sounds very, very mellow with the Strat. As Kashmir with the Dadgad thing. Do I have a guitar in Dadgad at the moment? I feel like I should. Look, let's just do this. I'll just do drop D. That one I almost do know. Where's some reverb? It's not the same without the. It's not the same without the open droning strings. Yeah, so it's a hemiola thing. The guitars are in 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's like you play the guitar figure 4 times for every 3 times the drums play them. So 3 against 4, it's cool, and you know, so much that is the way Bonham just doom ka just cruises through it. Something like that. The restringing routine, there is not one. It is it's an emergency ward in here. That's the best way to do it. Like just treat them as they come in. I don't break a lot of strings. I think I have had my guitar set up better than when I was younger, and B, I probably play with a lot more finesse now. So yeah, there's definitely that. But if I'm doing a show, I'll slap new strings on the guitar. But that's often where's let's see, got like a million presets in here that are empty at the moment. This is for the Summers fans amongst us all. So yeah, basically there's no routine with these. If I break a string, I'll generally change the whole set. Outside of that, hang on. No. There it is. Man, that sounds good. I wouldn't mind a bit more verb or something on there. Maybe a tad more depth and feedback. Ah, that's good. Man, the Police were a band I did not get for a long time. Ah, this is good. Maybe that's a little bit too much reverb. Let's try this one. Yeah, it needs some slapback, doesn't it? Let's go flan. I'll put the delay before the amp, probably the way Andy would have run it, and I'm pretty sure I have like a DD2 thing that I tried to copy at some point. Hey, there we go. That's pretty cool. Actually, you know what would be more appropriate would be a space echo, wouldn't it? Man, you can see I like delay. I've got a lot of blocks saved in here that I've gone back and forth. Let's see, RE202, and give me 120 milliseconds of delay. Hey, maybe a bit longer, 150. That's very dubby, isn't it? I reckon the old tape version would sound cooler than this. Let's go. Do I have two heads on this? I do. Oh, there we go. I like the mod on that a lot. Actually, you know what would be pretty fun? Let's go and do this. Whoa, that's a lot of delay. A big shout out to Juan for the super chat. That's awesome. From Washington, D.C. Mate, I appreciate it. Yeah, the amp in this actually, I reckon, could be a bit cleaner. Yeah, actually, I know this is probably not a super Andy thing to do, but one fun thing. I mean, who doesn't like the Rockman? So this is. This is such a great trick. I have an old X100 here, and I was measuring it. And I was looking at clean 2, and I was like, that curve is really, really familiar. What could it be? And it's basically just like a low and a high shelf together, which you can get as a tilt EQ. So you do this into a compressor. So you're taking out heaps of low end, so you kind of don't overload the comp too much. And the comp squashes heaps of the high end, and then bit of chorus, bit of pitch detune. This would be better with some reverb, as just about everything else in life is. I don't know. Just rolling through different. There we go. I mean, you know, this isn't really Andy Summers, is it? It's more. Hang on. Yeah. Oh, it's better with this. Or this. That one. chorus. Oh man, it is just the ultimate 80s movie scene, isn't it? It's... This with some delays on it actually would be sick. You can do... Where's my Michael Thompson delay? Dual delay, what am I doing here? Again, these aren't factory blocks. This is just all crap I've dialed in. 519, that's the patch, and then you add 300 milliseconds to each of these. Yeah, here we go. There we go. Something like that. This will be nice. Listen to those delays on there. That's good, isn't it? Okay, so on that Rockman clean thing, what I actually do, and I do this on the FM3 as well for my live stuff, to have a clean sound rather than have a clean amp, I just have this because it's so clean and it's so compressed. So it's actually not dynamic. I don't want dynamic cleans live. I just want this like absolute squish. So I'll show you that. And I can do this seamlessly, right? Yeah, there it is. So similar kind of thing. And also, it's this sound. Actually, that sound needs a much bigger reverb, like a big lush hall or something. Rev, get on that update, man. It's very good. What am I doing for the chorus here? What is this? Okay. Another thing that we measured, I've got a 2290 here and it does a great chorus, so this is a match for the 2290 chorus. It's got that phase reverse thing going on. Without it, I mean, it still sounds good, but with it, that's kind of cool, isn't it? You know what? I might play you guys a ragdoll tune that we've been relearning. Screenshot the preset. It is. I can message me, bro. I'll send it to you. It's literally Ignore this. This is to make my humbucker guitars sound like single coils, which I'm making my single coils sound more like single coils now. Filter block, and then probably the feedback compressor with the ratio at 4, and a bit of that chorus on there. Very, very nice indeed. What was the other thing I was going to do? I was going to play a song. Yeah. Okay, I'll play you guys a ragdoll tune that uses those Whitesnake chords. Let's get an appropriate guitar for it. Maybe one that's not in drop H. This should be in drop C sharp, which is what I need. Something like that. Yes, fantastic. This is a win already. So I'll play you a real kind of soppy ballad with that clean sound. Yep. Now I need to be C sharp. I mean, this tuning's mostly great for... Does need a little tweak in the old tuning. It's one thing that I never settle on is, do you guys tune to that when you're hitting the string, or to where it settles? I always try to sort of go in between, because in low tunings, often it's really easy to pull the string out of tune. Anyway, deep thoughts. What am I doing? Let's do... Where is it? Actually, I need to find it in... We haven't played it in our set list for so long. Here we go. Could it be love? All right, get ready for some cheese.
Seems like yesterday, walking hand in hand. You smiled and you said that you love me. Whispered in your ear words I can't recall. And
that 4 minor substitution at the end. That solo is really quite simple and enjoyable. It modulates to 3/4. Fun. Where are we at the chat? So, very Mr. Big, very like that, like 1990 ballad kind of thing. So, yeah, we haven't played that one live for ages. We got a show in 2 weeks, and I think we're going to kind of bust it out. They want their grease back. Yeah, them's real chords. Even that, like doing a minor major 7 at the end. All right, Josh wants to know, would you recommend a PA system or FRFR cabs for playing live through a modeler? Which would you recommend to me? Oof. It's a big thing that I think you just kind of have to try. I've got some of the Red Sound FRFRs, which are really, really good. Someone's cranking it around the corner. The CLR's good. They're just kind of impossible to get. I'm really curious to try those new Fender FRs. I have already seen some people really getting into them. Shout out JT if he's in the chat at all. I want to know if he's pole mounted it yet. But yeah, I'd kind of be curious to try those. And they are separate. Like the tweeter is separate rather than being like in it, unlike the Red Sounds and things like that. So yeah, it's kind of pretty hard to say, man. I think you have to try a lot of them. The CLR is really good. Really good. It's, like I said, they're just hard to get at the moment. So... but, you know, they're loud and they're clear and they're pleasant to listen to. The other ones people like are those EV ones. And there's the Yamaha DXR. I feel like this has become a whole subgenre of types of gear that people are never really happy with. But, like, what's the least worst option? Like, probably if you just want to be happy with your live guitar sound is... get a real cab and a decent power amp and use that, and then you get the amp in the room feel, and then you can still go DI and things like that. So yeah, oh man, if there's no places where you can try it, then it's sadly just going to be an expensive experimental journey. I don't think there's really any way around it. But yeah, the CLR's good. I've tried that. The Red Sounds are good. I've tried those. You know, I think there's something to be said about having a wooden cabinet versus like plastic. Without being a snob, like the plastic stuff, it does kind of sound a little bit different. So, yeah. I mean, I'm just so lazy that I don't bother with that anymore. You know, it's just easier to plug straight to the PA, and we use ears a lot of the time. But if you want the ka-chunk, you know, only a real guitar cab is going to do that. I should try actually if one day like using the Synergy power amp, because I think that sounds quite good. Using that into a cab live while going direct and making the old pants flap. That's kind of pretty fun. I just haven't gigged with a real cab. Yeah, it is. It's the FRFR thing is such a compromise. It's not like, you know, when you play an old Marshall, and I'm borrowing one here at the moment, you know, it's just such a great thing. And then you sort of go, well, what can I get that can kind of get me that sound at lower volumes? Do I get a modeler? Yeah, they can do that. Do I get like a, you know, 20 watt Friedman or one of the Marshall 20 watt things or a Cherry Tone? They do that thing. You can get like, you can get a sound that you're really happy with without having to have 6,000 watts and 14 full stacks, right? But the FR thing, it's like, you know, it's just not a guitar speaker. It's just not an amp and a cab. And if you like that sound, really, then that's the only way to get it. So doing the real cab thing, never heard the amp in the room sound, sadly. Okay, well, if that's the case, then I think you'll quite like, then it's just about like getting the monitor that, you know, has like a nice sounding frequency response. There's flat and there's sounding good, and some stuff is flatter but doesn't sound as nice. So yeah, it's a bit weird. It's really, really a bit weird. I don't think I've really ever found... The only thing that I've tried where I'm like, this is hands down great and I would be happy with it for the rest of my life were some Maya sound wedges, but they're like $1 billion each. So, yeah, you know, you could go that route. The Maya stuff is going to sound really, really good, but again, it's properly pro audio expensive. But everything else is, you know, kind of a compromise. So if you're okay with that, you know, there are some really good choices out there. So, yeah. Creambacks, V30s, you're speaking all the good. Yeah, unfortunately. Look, I think something like the Atomic is close to as good as you're going to get with those things. You might be able to find something cheaper and more widely available that gets you close enough to that you're happy with, but they also might not. You might really be able to sort of discern between it. So, yeah, the power cab I've tried. The power cab that I have tried was a lot cooler than, like, everyone's got the Headrush FRFRs. They're fine. They just have a sound and they sound kind of plasticky and tweetery to me. Like they sound like a PA speaker. The QSC stuff, the big PA speakers, again, pretty good. But to me, it sounds like a PA speaker. I think the Atomic's like just the way the cab is made and things like that. You know, Jay Mitchell was involved. It's probably going to have some actual expertise behind it. So 5-minute Paul Dean sound, say we want, but he had a fantastic sound in his rig. No, I agree. That's a deep cut, man. There's a lot of records from that era where people like kind of, you know, mutter under their breath about the record and you're like, have you listened to it? There's some awesome sounds. Did you plug your FX3 directly into the interface? If yes, doing +4 at the moment. I'm actually using the XLR routes. I normally just use SPDIF, but yeah, this new firmware that came out the other day, seamless switching, but they haven't got the seamless switching on SPDIF just yet, so I'm using XLRs. Yeah, dude, just enough is fine. Like, you know, I feel like live, it's always... I'm not looking for great. I'm just looking for not awful. So there's a lot of good options out there if that's it. Look, I will say there's a pretty... In my experience, using an FRFR speaker on stage versus a 4x12 cab, that's pretty different. If you're using like a 1x12 or something, I think it's a bit closer. But again, try it and it might be awesome and you might be super stoked with it. Or you might just be like underwhelmed and want to get a real cab. But yeah, there's kind of no way around it, really. I think a lot of companies try to sell you this like it's just like the real thing. It's like, no, it's a PA speaker. It's fundamentally different. You know, you can get a guitar and pitch shift it and make things that sound like bass noises, but the string isn't as long. You know, it's fundamentally like a different thing. What about a big PA speaker? Yeah, the big PA speaker, like the QSC stuff. I've got some mates with those, and they're great. You know, it's like, yeah, an FRFL. It's a hi-fi speaker, it's a PA speaker, right? So there's lots of workarounds you can use it. Like basically just cut a lot of the excess high end out of your like mic'd or simulated mic signal and go and have some fun, and they can definitely sound good. It's just not exactly the same, and that doesn't mean it's bad or it's worse. It's just different. What is seamless switching? So if you're familiar with the Axe-Fx, there's always been a gap when you change presets, but now I can do some cool stuff. Let me do this. So if I go, say, from this preset, where's my presets layout? Look at that. Changing presets, changing amps. So that's a very, very, very nice addition to what's going on there. So seamless switching is no gaps between presets on the Axe-Fx. Correct. Look, am I surprised anymore? Maybe I am still surprised at the constant saltiness of the internet, but you know, it's always funny when, yeah, See you, mate. Take it easy. I look forward to the next installment of the Model Awards. It's going to be a spicy one. But yeah, I never, there's always someone. You're like, hey, here's a free update for people who have the system. It makes their life better. There's like nothing. There's no downsides to it. And there's always someone who's like, oh, well, they should have done that 15 years ago so that, they're bad people. It's like, okay, well, what do you want out of life? It's like someone just came around and said, hey, do you just want $100? You don't have to do anything. You can do whatever you want with it. And this $100 is magical and isn't going to like increase inflation in the market. You're just an extra $100 in your pocket. Most people would be like, oh, this is okay. You wouldn't go like, well, they should have given me this $100 15 years ago so that I could invest it. So, yeah. Anyway, this is the world we live in. We've got all the toys and endless time to complain. I've been afraid to look and see how much an Axe FX runs. They're not cheap, but they are cheaper than a lot of the stuff they can do, if that makes sense. So, like, a new Axe FX3 costs less than a used H3000, which is kind of insane. I mean, the H3000, don't get me wrong, it's a classic unit, but, it's 30 years old, and there's a bunch of stuff that it doesn't do, and the Axe does, like, everything. So, having said that, there are other things which, if you don't need everything the Axe FX does, they make the FM9 and they make the FM3, and lots of other companies make great stuff. Like, the HX Stomp is great, the QC is really, really good. Fender Tone Master Pro is really, really good. There's just that thing where, is there still a difference between really good and great? And I think there is. I think the Fractal stuff, I think it sounds great. Some people might disagree with me, but that's fine. And there's a lot of stuff which sounds very good, but not great, and that's also fine. They're very much first world problems. So they popped the champagne when they figured that out. Yes, I imagine they did. So the stuff like the Boss GT1000 does it, which no one talks about that thing. I think it's an awesome unit, maybe a bit hampered by the fact it's a little bit clunky to use, but I think it sounds really, really good. Doesn't have a Dimension chorus in it. Everything else has a Dimension chorus in it except Boss. So, Boss are just doing their thing. But, like the Tone Master Pro, you can do seamless preset switching, but I'm fairly certain that they're using 4 of the ARM cores to run one preset and another 4. So you just put more processors in it, and you just have the other preset loaded, and then you crossfade between it, which I'm pretty sure the Fractal isn't doing because it hasn't sacrificed any power. It's still using all the same amount of stuff. And I hear some cats running around. There's always cats running around here, but it must be that time of day. What was I going to say? So yeah, getting that to crossfade is really, really clever. The Helix added it, but again, you had to only use half the power of the unit to get that crossfade thing on there. So yeah, oh man, the attention to detail's amazing in there. And hey, not everybody needs that attention to detail, but I think if it's important to you, it's hard to go without it. And again, these are all fine things. Yeah, and you can get some amazing sounds out of something like the Ampera Mini, which is like $200 US, And the question will be, well, is the Axe FX worth 10 times the price? Probably. But also, does that make the thing that's cheap bad? Also not. See you, Ricky. Take care, mate. I'm glad you enjoyed the stream and hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. So, yeah, there's everyone's tuning into YouTube, especially to see what's the next killer thing, what's going to kill the Helix. Probably nothing, because it's an amazing platform. I think the only people who can kill the Helix are Line 6. If they come out with another thing, it will probably have seamless preset switching and a touchscreen and a bunch of fun stuff. Or maybe it won't have a touchscreen, but it will still have an amazing user interface on there, because you can have a touchscreen that's implemented crap. So, yeah, a lot of things to think about. I am going to split everybody, but I will play you all one more song. I might play an old ragdoll song called Foot to the Floor, in which case I need to bring up my scenes and tune my guitar. So, yeah, if it's the morning for anybody, enjoy the rest of your day. If it's the evening, have a restful night's sleep. dream of beautiful tones and all those kind of things like we all do. And I'll play you guys Foot to the Floor. This is actually the very first song I ever wrote and recorded in my... Good question. Will it be the Helix 2 or the double Helix? I reckon my feel would be that they'll just probably use a different name for it. So, you know, who knows? I suspect they'll probably go for a totally different name because, you know, it's like Fractal, Helix, Quad Cortex, very like, you know, science, technology, genetics. They might just go for some other thing. It might have captures in it and machine learning and AI, so who knows? They'll... Again, these aren't things I know. This is all speculation. I've got nothing to do with them, but yeah. All right, I'm going to play Foot to the Floor. Everybody have a great night. I'm going to mute my mic and blast it and change scenes so you can see my big ugly face. Let's go.